Following the adjournment of the Ekurhuleni Council meeting, let's take you live to a press briefing in relation to this.
You must believe on something. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to dwell too much because I'll be starting maybe having doubts with all political parties to say this thing might happen, not to sit. Let's follow all the processes. As we're agreeing, in the next 7 days, we'll call extraordinary council meeting where we'll sit and we'll deliberate on this issue of electing the mayor, and it will be done. What we want to see, want the mayor to be elected within the period that we stipulated and the structures. No, thanks.
No, sorry, can I, what if, just for understood, to explain to people out there, because people are going to want to understand what happens after us, and I don't think my question was answered. In the event that prayer and hope doesn't have, what options are there?
Okay. Let's do this. Firstly, we do not want to speak on behalf of political parties.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that we need to make it clear. Myself and the Speaker got a duty to make sure that the council sit, and that's what we're going to do. That's the first thing. However, I do hope that, like the Speaker has said, that with what happened today, with the amount of engagement that caucus had, that progress has been made, and then we should be in the position to be able to elect when we come back next week.
Colleagues, we're going to go down to the last 3 questions. Viewer, I'm going to allow other journalists a chance first. Bali, was your hand up, or was I seeing?
Yeah, my hand was up. I just wanted, it's a question of clarity. You were saying that the reason why it was postponed is because of the orders of the council. I just want you, if you could just explain that. Was it because the House did not narrate exactly why was council postponed? And, you know, some of the political parties have asked for council to sit in the next 7 days. Will we have council in the next 7 days? Thank you.
We will have a council within 7 days. We don't have choice. We have to have a council within 7 days. Today it's Wednesday. Within 7 days, we must convene a special council meeting. Then, in terms of, you see, the technicality of this thing is that we don't want to go in and start talking politics. Because when we are sitting here, you can see at the back, there is Ekurhuleni legislature. So if I was outside, I easily can tell you a lot of things, but we can't. We have to follow what's written on the standing order. And if a councillor raises their hands and manage to quote proper on the standing order, and when you open it, you find it is there, then you need to entertain that councillor and you need to make a ruling. And the only ruling that you can make on all political parties, as they are requesting, to say, look, we've been having caucus after caucus. It seems like we don't get each other here. We are requesting more time, so we're going to find each other in this issue of mayorship. So you have to also to allow them to say, yes, let's convene the meeting within 7. Because also the standing order is clear. It's telling you you cannot go beyond the saying 7 days or on the next council meeting. But we agreed in council to say, let us not go on the 24th of November on the ordinary council meeting. Let's call extraordinary council meeting.
Gentlemen, your hand was up.
Cindy Sanzabati, Independent Progressive Talk Radio, Twane. Speaker, I just want to find out, in terms of Ekurhuleni's administration at the moment without the mayor, who then becomes, if there is such an allowance, according to the guidelines of the city, is maybe the acting mayor? Does that responsibility fall within your office, or what happens to the responsibilities whilst this is being sorted out?
Let me allow the chief whip to respond to that.
Okay. All right. When council, in each and every term, a council must adopt what we call the delegations of power. So matters of administration and the day-to-day runnings of the work of the municipality falls under the ambit of the city manager. So that continues. Service delivery should continue. It does not need to wait for the mayor to be elected. The mayor, of course, is needed so that they can be able to provide political oversight and guidance where it's needed. But that's the most important thing. But it also assists in terms of the council in taking the decision. So in terms of the service delivery, that should continue without any issue. It is indeed, of course, that it's concerning that we do not have a mayor at this stage. But myself and Speaker, we are here for some of the decisions that are pertaining to our role as a legislature. But we are hoping that next week, and then we'll be able to clarify the issue of the executive so that the council can function properly.
Cool. You had your hand up, sis?
Yes, thank you. My name is Alexandra, with my colleague here. So the last question that I have, clarity that I know is there a limit in terms of the motion of no confidence against mayors? Is there a limit to them? Or there might be a possibility that next year we can go through the same process? Is there a limitation in the regulations? Thank you.
Chief Whip.
All right. We do have some rules that speaks to motions themselves. Of course, we do not want council to be debating the same thing over and over again. So if the motion in content is actually similar to the motion that has been discussed over the past 6 months, therefore that motion is not admissible. So my view is that any motion of no confidence against the mayor cannot be heard up until at least May next year to try and allow the city to function. But that is just in terms of our standing order and what we seek to achieve as council, so that we know there's a level of stability that is there. So I think it answers your question a little. But in terms of councillors have to debate motion of no confidence within the time frames that I have mentioned, I think that is allowed and should be allowed because we are a democratic country. And we must express ourselves in any way that is possible, and it also increases accountability, so that we make sure that we can be in a position to deliver the best service delivery to our residents instead of maybe trying to shield one another. I think that is important. So if we are able to sit down and say, we believe here you were wrong, even if we do not, the council does not vote you out, but at least you are aware of your mistakes. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Lungani, I see I want to give our other colleagues a chance before I go back to you. Does anybody else have a question? I'm going to close it with Lungani and Aviwe and then no more questions.
Oh, and the bullet, solution is Travis was when I see the Mropile, goes up. Into 80 Speaker and Chief Whip, come then 14 days, and in 9, we're going to council, Ipele. Because now the city manager is in charge. But if the next 7 days still they collapse the city, in the provision or in terms of the legislation, we can't say what is to happen. Administration, you call province, or what is that is to happen. Taking into account as well to say we're approaching December. So says like don't in the next 14 days and was collapse.
Yeah, I think we hear the question, but I hear what you are saying, and we don't want to go there. The legal, let me just say we're going to consult with the legal, then the legal will come back to us and tell us to say, if this thing does not happen, this is the route that you have to take, because we don't want to commit ourselves here. We find that the decision that we are saying is quite wrong and find ourselves in court. But let's say we consult with the legal, then we'll take it from there.
We'll follow up with you, Mr.
Thank you very much.
My question was actually that. What does the rule book say? So you don't know, basically, huh?
Yeah. No, it's not that we don't know or the speaker doesn't know. Let's keep it cordially. I'm saying we will consult the legal team and we'll provide answers. We will communicate to everyone in this room following that. Colleagues, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your questions.
This
session is closed.
Thank you.
It's not